guys, so are you ready to do a DIY project today with me? So today I'm going to tackle this wall where we are going to make a accent wall with rectangular shapes. I'll show you how I measured it as well and the whole plan, and let's get started. And if you are new to my channel and haven't been here already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and the bell icon to get a video every single day, a DIY project or a drawing video. So this is the scale that we drew in order to get the dimensioning right. So you can use the same if you want to use rectangular squares like we did, and change the dimensions according to the height and the width of your wall. So, and I will show you what's the length and the width of the paneling we use. So we use 2.5. In Home Depot in Canada it comes as 3, that's what they say, but it's really 2.5. This is the width of the panel that we used, which is 2.5 and about 8 foot tall, and it's around $8 to $9. So those are the panels that we're going to use in order to do the whole wall, and I'll show you how I cut it as well. So you can see going all the way to the top, I just put one just to show you how short it is compared to the whole wall. And the other material that we used was adhesive. So Lepage No More Nail Heavy Duty Ultra Robust Adhesive. You can just use that without using nails as well, but we use nails as well. This is the gun that we used, and this is a sand sponge, which makes it very easy, so you can get that as well. It's about $17 I believe in Home Depot. All of this is from Home Depot, and those are the nails that we're going to use, and this is the plugs. They are plastic plugs for the places where there are no studs, and we need green tape because we're gonna paint it later. So you can see that sealant, we did not use it. We thought we will need it, but we did not use it. And so the first thing we did was just clean the whole wall and make sure that there's no bumps on the wall or anything. If there was, like we are seeing here, we removed all that in order to get a smooth surface to install the paneling. So everything is clean, and we went through the whole wall, like the surface of the wall as well, with a sandpaper as well as a clean cloth, and clean all the debris and dust from the wall so we get a smooth wall to work with. So this is what that sponge does. It's just a sandpaper but in a sponge, so makes it very, very easy, and it has different grades as well. You can get what you want. We got this from Home Depot. So make sure everything is leveled as well. This is just to show you that the walls sometimes don't necessarily show leveled, because sometimes when the house is settling and everything, the wall becomes crooked, so it's not really leveled sometimes. So we measured the wall width, and it's about 228 centimeters I believe, and you can see from the picture I showed you from the drawing the whole width of the wall. So now I'm just gonna draw a line, cut it with a saw. You can see that we didn't use a fancy saw, it's just a normal saw that we used, and then sand it a little bit with a sandpaper. And if you want, you can go along the wall and make sure and mark all the stud areas, so that you can, if you have a nail gun, you can use that in order to nail it all in as well, and just use the studded areas to put the nail in. Makes it very nice as well without using plugs. But we used plugs a lot because there weren't a lot of studs on this wall, so we used the plugs as well as the adhesive, just to make sure that it doesn't fall off ever. So you can see that I'm marking the studded areas here with a stud finder, and you can get one of these easily. They're not very expensive if you want to, and I recommend it to figure out where the studs are. Even if you're using plugs, you know where the studs are. So this is the first panel that we're installing around all the corners, or the borders I would say. And once the panel is in place, just drill a hole all through, going through the panel to the wall with a smaller drill, and then make the hole a little bigger so that the plastic plug can go in easily, because you have to have a smooth hole in order for the plug to go in, otherwise the plugs can break, and you can just hammer it lightly for it to go in completely. So this is the plastic plug, so you just put that in the hole there, and then if it's tight, just hammer it lightly, but it should go really pretty easily. And now once all the plugs are there, we countersink the nail holes on the panel so that the nails go in without showing it on the surface, so it's nicer when the whole finished look comes about, and you can just fill it later on. So this is the adhesive. So I'm just going to show you how to cut it as well, because if you cut it at an angle, you can smoothly apply the adhesive. So this, you put the adhesive inside here in the onto the gun, just like that. I just wanted to show it. If you're a beginner, this can be a little tricky, so I just thought I'll show it to you regardless. I'm sure you can figure it out, but here you go. So you pull it all out and then put the adhesive in, and make sure it's tight, that area where it's loose, so tighten it from the back just like that with your finger, and then once it's tight, the adhesive should easily come out when you press the handle of the gun, I would say. So once that is ready, all you need to do is position it correctly so that it can be applied on the wood smoothly, where the pointy side is facing to the top, and then the area where you cut is facing to the facing down, so that you can apply the adhesive easily onto the wood. And I'll show you how I applied it as well, just shortly. So if you have any questions or comments, don't forget to let me know in the comments below. So here I'm applying the adhesive. When it comes out at the beginning, it's very tight. That's why I'm having a hard time putting it on. And now that's all there, I'm just gonna stick the panel to the wall, and you can see that I put the nail in just a little bit so that it's easier to go in, and I can locate the plugs as well. So once it's all there, you stick the panel and then put the nail in with a screwdriver. That's what we used, but if you have a nail gun, things get very, very easy for you. So you just have to put it in, and once that is there, just I'll show you another area where there is a switch on that side. So what we did is we cut the top and the bottom and left the switch area just bare for a bit, and then cut it to size, because this, like I said, the panel is 2.5 inches, the width is 2.5 inches, so we cut it so that about a quarter inch is visible on the side, so it looks nicer when you put it all in, so it gets enclosed in the paneling as well. So you will see that I'm marking it here. That's about a quarter. I measured it earlier, and I'll show you how it looks. So you have that panel, and then that's about a half an inch. So I'm just going to get a ruler and get a quarter inch, mark a quarter inch, and then cut it all out. so that you have that thin piece of wood that can go right on that area. And I did this thing all around before I put the middle panels in. So now what I'm gonna do, I didn't put the very top one yet because the panel is only 8 foot and the wall goes a little longer, like its length is a little longer. So first what we did was put the panels, the vertical panels that we can put in full, all of it, and then added the rest of it later because then you have to get on the ladder and everything. So this makes it very easy so that we have the dimensioning and all the measurements done already. So make sure it's leveled, make sure you measure it with a tape measure as well, and mark it and install, just like what I showed you before. With, if you want to countersink it, you can countersink the panel and then put the nail in, so it gives a nice finish. And we also used a spacer, makes things very easy. Once you know the dimension, cut a spacer to the right dimension and use that to make sure that from bottom to top it's the same width. And now you can see I installed all the panels, the vertical ones and the frame. Now all we need to do is add the horizontal rectangle to make it rectangular pieces. So we need to do 2 lines. So I'm gonna measure from the bottom up like that, and I mark the area with a pencil. You can erase it later, and cut the panels to size and install it the same way as you did before. So you can see that on that side you can see the countersunk nail. They're all inside the hole, so that it makes it very easy and beautiful. When you fill it and apply paint, it does not show. Or you can add, if you can buy one of those wood little plugs to put in it as well, then you can cover it up really well. So I'm going to show you the countersinking again here. So again, this video is for a beginner. If you're a pro, you don't need any of this. I'm sure you know all you need to know about countersinking, as well as putting in a stud. If you have a nail gun, you don't have to do any of this. So we don't have a nail gun, so we use this method to make things work for us. So you can see I installed the first one, and now I'm gonna do the whole wall, and I'll show you how I leveled it as well. So make sure it's leveled every time, just to, otherwise everything will be crooked. So make sure everything is leveled and measured correctly. So once it's done, this is one horizontal line done, and I'll show you in a bit how it all looks. So you can see I added the first, second horizontal panel, and now this is the full paneling. This is how it's gonna look. Now you see all these dots, we have to cover those, as well as any gaps around. So what I used was this. It is pink at first. It has to be pink at first. Usually it is, but mine is a little dry, so it was white. You just apply it to all the areas that you want to apply the filling, and you fill it up just like that. I slow-mo this section so that you see clearly what I'm doing. So I'm filling in all the holes and gaps first with this, the Dap Filler, and it's usually pink. If you buy it from Home Depot, it's just pink, and then when it dries it becomes white. I had a small one from before, so when I opened it, it was already white, but it was all liquidy still. So I used that first, and I used the pink one, a new one which was pink too. And after it dries, it becomes white just like this. And with the sand sponge, you just sand it until it gives you a smooth finish. And this is the sanded look. So all we need to do now is tape, put green tape around the paneling so that the paint does not go into the areas where you don't want the paint to go, and you just have to paint it, and it will be all done in a bit. So now this is the taped look. I put some garbage bags at the bottom and some newspapers as well, so that when the paint drips, it does not drip to the flow. Just this is the first coat of the paint, and again I have to mention that I removed the switch cover so that the paint doesn't get on it, and I used a roller and a paintbrush as well as a sponge, and that's it. So this is the look of the paneling, and I put some deco to show you. And all in all, it costs around about $150 Canadian. It's not very hard to do. A little bit of time it's little bit time consuming just because we didn't have a nail gun, and we wanted to make sure all the measurements are correct and everything looks perfect. So it was a little bit time consuming, but it's a very, very easy thing to do. If you want to do it yourself as well, you can really do it yourself. Very easy project to do. I think you should try it. And I hope you like this video, and I put some next videos for you of other DIY projects that I've done before. I hope you like those as well. And don't forget to hit on my face logo to subscribe to my channel, so I bring a video every single day, DIY project or a drawing idea that you can draw in few minutes. So don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.